Under the Scope.
Hey, Scope fans, Jared and Shane here, along with my family. Some of them you might see. It's another Scope summer movie review. This time around, Jurassic World.
Indeed.
The biggest film possibly of the summer. We'll have to see. It's, as of this show,
Very strong opening weekend.
surprisingly strong, Jared.
Exceeding projections, one might say.
One might say it, and one just did. This is the fourth Jurassic Park film.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I wouldn't say it's a reboot, but it's a revisitation of the original concept that it came out in 1993.
Yep. It's part of the chronology, so.
I was a wee pup when this movie came out.
Just a wee lad.
What?
We were young. Jared, it stars...
You didn't exist yet.
Oh,
It stars Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Bryce Dallas Howard.
He's box office gold.
He is. He is.
Jake Johnson.
You're giving him third billing.
minor.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio. I'm not sure if he was a good or a bad guy in this film. It was a little hazy. He played a conflicted character.
He serves as capitalist overlord, so.
Yeah. Anybody else that we ought to mention?
Who else would you even know?
Who is the mom?
Mom is Judy Greer.
Judy Greer gets a non-comedic role.
She's the sister of Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Claire.
And then the boss, one of the bosses from The Office.
And you have B.D. Wong, the scientist. He was in the first one, right?
He's the only returning guy.
Yeah.
From the original
The
Jurassic
lead scientist guy who has been helping them come up with new assets, as they call them.
Yeah.
This time around, they're doing genetically engineered dinosaurs because they need to up the wow factor, the cool factor. People are bored of regular dinos.
To be fair, they were doing that in the first one too.
Well, yeah,
And the
but this
second
one they're specifically targeting what did they call it? Enhanced predator capabilities or something like that. Things that make you go, that's interesting.
So, Jared, why don't you throw down what this plot is, and then we'll get into a proper review.
Well, Judy Greer and husband are sending their kids off alone onto a vacation to Isla Nublar, where Jurassic World is now set up. It's very, very Disney World-like setting now, with its 20,000 tourists a day come in to see dinosaurs, and I don't remember what her name was, but her sister Claire is apparently the chief administrator of this place. And she has sort of been promised to take care of the boys, show them the best things they have to offer, give them sort of the VIP treatment. They're going on a vacation for some inexplicable reason. Maybe the parents are working on getting a divorce or something, and they just decide to send their kids away. It's not 100% clear. It doesn't necessarily matter.
That's a mighty specific maybe they.
It does come up later that they're
It's not huge to the plot.
So. Meanwhile, Chris Pratt is, of course, working on training raptors.
Ex-military, of course.
He's ex-Navy.
That makes sense.
He has sort of established himself as the alpha of this this pack of raptors. There are 4 of them.
One named Blue.
Yes.
One named Seatbelt.
And also going on at the same time, we've got the brand new super predator dinosaur, the Indominus Rex, that they have created and is going to be their next attraction.
With a name like that, it might mean trouble.
So, those are your principal players. Needless to say, something happens, Indominus Rex escapes, and the whole of the island is thrown into chaos as they try to contain and control, eventually evacuate, and pretty much just survive.
Yeah. We also did mention Vincent D'Onofrio as sort of the shadow agent of InGen, where there's this whole other group that's interested in making some waves with the dinosaurs. So he's part of the military.
Yeah,
group.
they're looking for military applications. They have visions of them being soldiers on the battlefield, since they are killing machines that can take orders, supposedly, as demonstrated by Owen. That was his name, right?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So there we go, and then you also have the plot which mimics the first movie, in which the kids are off on the island by themselves trying to survive as the world is crumbling around them.
Right. They're ingenious when they need to be.
Yeah, you've got a few echoes of the first movie, obviously, which is something that you would do if you were doing a film like this, to
No proficiency with the Unix operating system this time around, though.
No computer experts, no gymnastics experts.
Oh, I forgot about the gymnastics.
In Jurassic Park 2.
That's right.
So, Jared, let's talk about this film. I'm going to probably be in the minority of saying that I did not like this film as much as maybe the average person did.
Okay.
What I liked about the original Jurassic Park was the fact that it was man and woman versus nature. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a lot of extra, there wasn't a lot of military. It was just them in the jungle trying to survive. And this film threw in a lot of elements, which I suppose you're going to have to do because, you know, you're rebuilding the island and you've got to learn your lessons. But it has a lot of the stuff that I didn't like in the other films, which was, you know, the military, the nefarious plans for the dinosaurs at some different date.
Yeah.
Although they had that in the first one, it definitely was not as organized and, you know, applicable. You know, it was just one guy essentially being sort of
there was sort of one shadow plot. Yep. This time it seems like there's the entire corporate structure is built for exploiting these dinosaurs for their own purposes.
Which seems like if you would have learned a lesson on the first film, that you might not do this again because it didn't work out.
Yeah.
The Vincent D'Onofrio character of Owen made me want to vomit.
Chris Pratt was Owen.
Or whatever.
I don't even know what the other guy was.
Vincent D'Onofrio's character was so one note.
He was a cartoon.
And so ridiculous that every time he was on screen, I'm like, how are we allowing this to happen? Let's just let the dinosaurs run amok and let's let these people try to survive. The kids starting the car with a 25-year-old car with a new battery was insane to me. It was lazy plot writing. They could have had another car there that they could have just driven away.
They worked out that one car.
But the battery wouldn't still have a charge after 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
The most of the stuff with the two brothers was, I think, laughably bad.
Silly.
The dialogue was terrible. The characterizations weren't great. The acting was fine for what it was. Just the way they characterized sort of the older brother as sort of this like, oh, I'm so detached from everything. I don't care. I'm too cool for this. All I want to do is look at girls. Except for in this scene calls for me to have a heartwarming moment with my brother, even though I really don't want to be here.
Yeah.
It just was sort of scattershot, laughably bad. But
Spielberg figured out the kids in the first one.
Yeah, the kids were way better in the first one.
They felt like, you know, that they weren't super experts, although the older sister being a computer expert was a bit silly. But overall, I felt like the kids were handled a little bit better, a lot better.
Right. But really, this movie isn't necessarily about the kids. No. It isn't about the cartoon bad guys. It's about dinosaurs.
It's about the set pieces, the set action pieces, which, for me, there were moments, but I still feel like nothing really topped the first dinosaur, the first T-Rex escaping the pen, and the true terror and fear that you had in that moment.
In the first one?
In the first one. That's sort of your benchmark.
In fact, T-Rex is sort of relegated to just an attraction on the tour. This time, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because you don't even get to see him. It's just like he's there penned up for people to watch him eat a goat.
You've got the Velociraptors, which also have played a huge role in all three of the Jurassic Park films, relegated to sort of a schizophrenic crew. We're not sure if they're good. They're not sure if they're bad. Maybe they've had the ability to strike a quiet balance with humans. You know what I mean? I didn't.
Well, you never thought you had control. You never had control, and you thought you did.
Yeah. I did appreciate the couple of stealth cameos from Jeff Goldblum in this film.
It was like some stills
of him. Oh, Jared's losing the arm. So
I'm losing the arm.
So yeah,
gotta save the arm.
Let's talk about the dinosaur action. I was a bit underwhelmed overall.
I don't know. I like the dinosaur stuff. I mean, for me, this works pretty well as just a straight up monster movie. I think there's some good dino action. A lot of it seems like it's more dino on dino action this time around than it is dino on human action. Although there are a lot of humans that died too.
I like the dinos chasing the humans best.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was concerned that I would have a problem with on this film when we started seeing the stills and you started seeing some of the trailers was this whole idea of humans controlling dinosaurs and humans working with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And it sort of fell flat for me. it just didn't. And then you tie that into this whole military thing of them training them. I just like it when the dinosaurs are mean and they're just destroying everything, and I don't feel the need to work with them.
You think there might be a little bit too much going on in the story?
I do. I think
too many vectors.
I think you could have simplified a little bit.
Okay, I agree with that.
You could have a Chris Pratt character who is, more like an Alan Grant, where he understands the dinosaur nature a little bit better than the average person, but he isn't gonna, throw a bone and have them fetch it. Although they tried to temper that a little bit, I still felt like it was odd. It felt odd to me. And maybe if you eliminate some of the other elements in the film that are loud and noisy and you give that more prominence, maybe it works better, but for me it didn't work as much. So
okay. What does Audrey think?
It was good.
It was good.
Any favorite parts?
No.
You liked it all. So yeah, I mean, it felt like another one of the Jurassic Park films, without question. Mm-hmm.
Visually, it's very stunning. I mean, they've nailed dinosaurs at this point. There's really nothing I can complain about. Well, there's one or two shots I could complain about, but I mean, really, that's picking nits.
What I did like about the film was what I liked about the first one, which is showing of the park, which I think they could have done more of.
Yeah. And
I like the idea of them commenting on if Jurassic Park really existed, how would people deal with it? Would after 20 years, would people be sort of nonchalant about it? Would crowds expect more? I don't know if they would probably expect quite as much as what they made it to be in the film, because I think just the spectacle of having dinosaurs is going to be huge, and it would be huge for years on end.
People seem pretty enthused still, the crowds, but I guess if you're a business entity, you're thinking years down the road, and you're checking your metrics, and you're seeing that maybe customer dissatisfaction or satisfaction is flat, and you want to do something to improve. So I think it's an interesting angle to take on it. Is it an interesting storytelling angle?
I don't know. Yeah.
Is it really that compelling to hear the tale of how a corporation wanted to improve revenues on their dinosaur park? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you could leave some of those details out and just get to the action quicker. I don't know.
It is.
Okay.
Audrey agrees, I guess. She's definitely into that.
But it's just over 2 hours, so it's not excruciatingly long.
Yeah. And surprise, it is definitely set up for more sequels. Chris Pratt is signed for more sequels.
So in the way that's making money, chances are there's going to be another one.
So we'll have to see how that plays out. My fear is a sequel to this might end up looking a bit like some of the other Jurassic Park films, which we did not like as much, because part of the charm is them being in this park and people observing it. So we'll have to see.
Maybe they can go to the other island again in the second one.
Yeah,
in the fifth one.
Let's hit all those same story beats, shall we? So I think we've covered it, Jared, unless there's anything else you want to mention.
No.
So let's take a quick pause and give this thing a score.
The Scope score is 3 stars.
So the crowd consensus here is that it's a 3-star movie. I might have been a little bit lower, but for dinosaur spectacle, it is definitely, it's there.
I think it works as a monster movie pretty well. I don't know. I enjoyed the final sequence quite a bit. A lot of dino on dino action.
Extra points for having Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt knocks it up a 1/4 star.
Next time, let him be a little funnier. That's what I say.
Yeah, he doesn't get a chance to do a lot of funny, but really none of the people get to do too much funny.
Yeah.
Even though there's some funny people in the movie. So
I am hoping for sequels that now is the time to bring back some of the characters from the originals, and let's see how they interact with Chris Pratt, because I think that would be fun.
We've proved the series has legs, so let's get those guys back.
We'll tap a little bit of nostalgia action.
Yeah.
Why not? So, Jared, tell everybody how they can interact with this terrific show we call The Scope.
Well, you can steal my iPhone that we're recording this on, and then you can use that to access the YouTube app, and you can like, comment, and subscribe right below.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. So, great job, guys. Summer movie season in full effect. More to come. So, for Jared, Audrey, the Invisible Wife, and myself, Shane, thanks for watching. We'll have more Scope movie reviews soon.
Okay, the next one.
Bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. Days shall pass as if they were but a moment, and Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode. Until then, send your comments to comments@thescopeshow.com or leave a voicemail message by dialing
612-21 Scope. That's 612-217-2673.
Thanks for listening, faithful fans. This is Tony Partington saying arrivederci. Tune in next time to another terrific edition of The Scope.